Hi there, welcome to Renegade Faith. I wanted to jump on here today and talk to you about something that happened to me this past week. Those of you that don't know me, I work at a school. I'm the registrar at a school. I've been in education for over 30 plus years, and I've worked every job there is to work in education. And recently I stepped into this registrar position, and I'm liking it. It's great. And we've been in re enrollment and enrollment since November. And I'm getting to the end of this whole enrollment thing where I need to sync, and those of parents or that if you're in education, you'll know what I'm talking about. I need to sync everyone that's been enrolled to Power School so we can get our master schedule and our rosters and our classes and everything. And we're opening up a new school, so it's very vital and important that I keep everybody on track and keep moving to get to that next step. So we've had over 550 applicants. I think I've verified a little over 500. I'm nearing the end. No, I'll back up. I haven't. I probably no 450. 450. I verified 450. We had about 165 applicants whose application was just sitting there. They made it to step one, and it was just sitting there. So I've gone in and sent out last week. I sent out this email, just a friendly reminder. I know life gets busy and out of sight, out of mind. I completely understand, but please go into your application and make sure that you've completed it, and then upload any documents that are missing and send it my way. I'll get notified and I can get you verified. Easy peasy. So anyway, as of Thursday of this past week, I've got all those applicants down to like 90. So people are on the move, they're listening, they're responding. But there was this one mom that wasn't very happy with me. And that's fine. I'm used to it. I'm just used to that business. So she sent me an email, and she said, I just want and I'm not going to read it the way that maybe I think her tone was. I'm just going to read it. I'm just going to tell you what it was, and then tell you what my initial reaction was. So I read the email, and it just pretty much said, she wasn't very happy with the process. This is the most horrendous application process she has ever been through, and that it wasn't the same for her son who's in the high school. We have several schools like kinder through 12th. In the high school, it was a piece of cake, and this is ridiculous, and blah 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 blah, and please just get her baby enrolled. So my first honestly, my first impulse or reaction internally, now 20 years ago, I probably would have acted like a crazy lunatic and, said kind of like, well, who do you think you are, kind of thing. No, but that's not who I am anymore. I've grown up along the way. And my first initial reaction was, oh my goodness, like, what have I done? Did I send this email out, and this final notification that kind of got her up in arms? Oh yeah, I forgot that, because I sent out a bunch of, this is your final notice, like, get your application in and get it completed. And so I went back, and we have a communication log because we do enrollment on this platform. And we can go in and we can see when they submitted their application and how many communications have gone out with friendly reminders. So I go back and I look, and she originally had submitted her application back in December. And this is April. This is the end of April. We're going into May. And I look through there just to make sure, and there was 3 pages of a communication log where I had sent her friendly reminders. Is anything I can do? Do you need to come up to school? Are you having trouble with the platform? Everything I could to help her. But, she didn't want the help, and that's fine. I'm always there to offer the help, any help that's needed. So she sends this email, and I look back at the log before I respond, and I just tell her, thank you for your feedback. The process does go smooth when you upload all documentation that's required, and it does run a lot smoother. Hopefully next time it'll run smoother. Have a great day. I didn't hear back from her. That's fine. But I was able to get her son verified and enrolled, because she had the last document that she uploaded was blank. So that really kind of sent her over the edge. But, anyway, I tell you all that because it started getting me thinking about the blame game. And how many times in life and how many times throughout our day do we blame other people for our circumstances or something that's happened in our lives. Like, you're the first one at the stoplight sometimes, and the car behind you is beeping at you because you didn't run the light when they wanted you to. And so that's the blame game. You want to tell the guy behind you, hey, you should have left your house 5 minutes earlier, you'd be in front of me right now. So just that constant blame game. And I will say that, I've been there. I've blamed other people for my circumstances, for my finances, for, not being happy. I've blamed people in my life for everything. But it wasn't until I took responsibility for myself and my actions and my thoughts and my words and my reactions, and I gave it all to God, and I had him calm me down and think it through before I reacted, that things started to change in my life. And so I think, really taking a hard look at yourself is really difficult. It's difficult for all of us. I know it was difficult for me. But it says in Ezekiel 18:22 and in Matthew 12:36, and this is kind of what got me going. It was like people are responsible for their actions. In the Bible, it says people are responsible for their actions and every careless word they speak. Wow. So that really started me thinking, oh my gosh, if I'm responsible for every careless word I've spoken, every ill word, every cuss word, everything that's come out of my mouth that's hurt someone, I'm responsible for that. And, it started me thinking, like, well, how can I be lined up with God if I'm acting in such a way? And so, again, I will tell you, I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect, but I do try and live my life taking responsibility for myself and accountability. And I just really think that's what we're missing in this world. And so trust me today, like, if you're struggling in those areas and you just feel like you can't catch a break, I encourage you to just take responsibility for yourself. Take responsibility for your thoughts and what you're saying and what you're doing and how you're reacting. And again, please know, I don't blame this mom that had this horrible experience. I'm sure she's busy. She's got a heavy workload and you're raising children, and you tend to forget. And I'm grateful that she was able to say that to me and not someone else that maybe would have blown it out of proportion, and it just would not have been a great situation. But I just encourage you today, to let God change your life and start taking responsibility for you. That's all you have to do. It's like, just take responsibility for you. Aren't we glad and so grateful that when Jesus Christ died on the cross for our sins, that he took responsibility for all of us, and that to me is an amazing gift, which encourages me every day to take responsibility for myself. Thank you. Thanks for listening.